Howdy do, everyone. Oh, I dropped some beans. Dang it. Anyway, so a little nugget, little kernel of wisdom here. It's obviously end of summer. It's September something mid-September. I'm learning that there is wisdom in the old ways of doing things. And the newest nugget of wisdom I have here is these guys right here, my green beans. And most, out of frame. Most times all you can find in stores is bush beans. Don't get me wrong, bush beans produce a lot of green beans, but this here is still producing green beans by the handfuls off of this, what is it, 4x12, yeah, 4x12 dog kennel. I've planted the green beans all around it, and I'll show you a view of it a little bit of ways away. Excuse me, got green beans back in my throat. Be right back. Okay, pardon me there. So what we have here is my former dog kennel. I had planted green beans almost all the way around, and this is what it looks like after they've kind of died back for the season. But we get up here close. Hopefully you can hear me beyond the screaming of children. And they're still producing beans. Now this is about 2 inches long. These aren't as full and juicy as they have been early in the season because I haven't been watering this section of the plot as much. In fact, we've canned all the green beans that we were gonna can. I didn't know if this would be enough, so we had purchased some from a local farm stand, which it turns out we didn't really need to do. We doubled the batch of green beans that we were canning for the year. And yeah, as you can see, we've just kind of let some of them go. I'll show you this over here. So bush beans take up a lot of space. So if you look here, this wild patch of garden, clearly don't like to use sprays. I hoe and weed until I just get fed up and let it go. So we've got about 6 tomato plants. I've got a whole patch of pumpkins over here. Those are the garden beds from last year. If you haven't seen them before, go back and you'll see how big they are. Just a moment. Anyway, gotta love them kids. They just fight and fight and fight. So what I was gonna show you here is, look at this. This mean old green bean. There's my fist. Boom. There's the size of that green bean. And clearly we just haven't been picking them because we've gotten our fill and then some. And what this will be is I'll probably just end up throwing some of these to the chickens and ducks. I'm getting some here for fresh so I can do a stir fry or something here in the next couple of days. But really, the old ways are sometimes just a little bit better. Bush beans take up way too much space for if you're in a tight space. Now I could plant obviously as much of these bush beans as I wanted, but the other problem is they're low to the ground and they're pretty susceptible to getting eaten by slugs and critters that crawl. I don't have to spray them because they're up. They get pollinated better, I think. So yeah, invest in some bush beans or climbing beans, some string beans. You'll be rewarded in the end. Oh yeah, and another thing is bush beans tend to grow, they produce, and then they die. They're done. Or these have, like I said, they're still going. And I picked these in late June, maybe early July, and they're still going. This is probably the 3rd round that I could get in here and get a nice gallon bucket full. Something to note is when your green beans get a little bit too big, like clearly this is a little bit too big, they start to get woody and the beans get rather large. So the beans get rather large, the husks are really woody, and they just don't, they're not any good for eating. So if your beans look anything like this one, or like these, they're just too big. Don't eat them, don't can them, don't do nothing with them. Feed them to your animals. Yeah, if you got some goats, chickens, cows, they'll love it. But for you and me, you want to stick with a bean that looks like, well, let's get a nice big juicy bean. A nice big juicy bean. Oh, there's one. The other side of the cage. So like this guy right here, that's probably about as big as you want it to get, width-wise and girth and all that. Shouldn't be too woody, let's see. Borderline. Getting a little woody. Definitely can tell by the girth of it, and if, yeah, oh, bane of our existence is these little yellow jackets. But nice little beans like this, they're really good. Extra sweet, so nice skinny little beans. Perfect for eating. Well, thanks for watching. This is about all I got for you. God bless you and your family, and see what kind of trouble I can get into tomorrow. Later, you guys.